Once upon a time, there was a little rabbit named Willi. Willi lived with his mother in a small wooden house on the edge of a great forest. Every morning, he woke up early. Opened his bedroom window and took a deep breath of the cool, fresh air.
I am ready for my trip, Mom.
Have a wonderful time. Goodbye.
The forest was his favorite place in the whole world. Tall trees stretched toward the sky. Bright wildflowers covered the ground. Crystal clear streams sang as they flowed over smooth stones. Birds greeted the sunrise with cheerful songs, and butterflies danced from flower to flower. Willi knew almost every path through the forest. He knew where the squirrels hid their acorns for winter. He knew where the deer came to drink from the stream. He knew where the little birds built their nests high among the branches. But there was one place no one ever visited. Deep in the heart of the forest stood an enormous, ancient oak tree. It was older than anyone could remember. The animals called it the silent tree. Whenever Willi asked about it, everyone gave him the same answer. It has a secret. Nothing more. No one explained. No one told stories. No one even looked at the tree for very long. Of course, that only made Willi even more curious. He loved mysteries. The more impossible they seemed, the more he wanted to solve them. One bright morning, while the sun painted the leaves golden, Willi made up his mind. Today, he whispered to himself, I'm going to discover the secret. He packed his little blue backpack carefully. Inside, he placed a bottle of water, a shiny red apple, a small notebook, and his favorite pencil. His mother smiled when she saw him. Going exploring again? Willi nodded happily. I'll be back before sunset. His mother gently straightened his yellow scarf. Be careful. I will. She hugged him tightly. Then Willi waved goodbye and skipped down the little forest path. The deeper he walked, the more beautiful the forest became. Golden sunlight slipped through the leaves like streams of liquid honey. A family of squirrels hurried across the branches overhead, carrying acorns almost as large as their heads. Nearby, a woodpecker tapped rhythmically against an old tree. Knock, knock, knock. A tiny blue butterfly floated lazily through the air. It circled around Willi once, then again, before flying deeper into the forest, almost as if it wanted him to follow. Willi smiled. Are you showing me the way? The butterfly continued ahead. He followed it happily. The familiar paths slowly disappeared behind him. The forest grew quieter. The birds sang less often. The wind whispered softly between the ancient trees. After nearly an hour of walking, Willi finally saw it. The ancient oak. He stopped in his tracks. It was far larger than he had imagined. Its trunk was so wide that 10 rabbits holding hands could not have reached all the way around it. Its branches stretched so high that they seemed to disappear into the clouds. Green moss covered its roots like a soft blanket. Tiny glowing insects floated gently around the bark. The whole tree seemed alive, not simply growing, but watching, listening, waiting. Willi took one careful step forward, then another. Everything around him became strangely quiet. Even the wind stopped blowing. He stood before the giant trunk. Slowly, very slowly, he reached out his paw and touched the rough bark. At first, nothing happened. Then, knock. Willi blinked. Had he imagined it? Knock. Knock. This time he heard it clearly. The sound came from inside the tree. He took one step backward. The bark began to move. A thin line of golden light appeared. Dust floated through the air. Ancient wood creaked softly. Before his astonished eyes, a small hidden door slowly opened. Warm golden light spilled onto the forest floor. Willi stared in complete amazement. Then someone stepped through the doorway. It was a squirrel. Not an ordinary squirrel. She wore a bright red hat. Round golden glasses rested on her nose. Under one arm, she carried a small leather-bound book. She smiled kindly. "Good morning." Willi could hardly speak. "Hello, my name is Emma." She gave a polite little bow. "And you must be Willi." His ears stood straight up. "You know my name?" Emma smiled mysteriously. "We've been waiting for you." "For me?" She nodded. Not everyone can see the door. Willi looked at the hidden entrance. "I never knew it was here." Most animals never do. Why? Because only those with a curious mind and a kind heart can find it. Willi felt his cheeks grow warm. Emma stepped aside. "Would you like to come in?" For just a moment, Willi hesitated. Every sensible thought told him to go home. But curiosity had always been stronger than fear. He took a deep breath, then stepped through the doorway. His mouth fell open. It was impossible. The inside of the tree was far larger than the outside. Towering bookshelves climbed toward a ceiling he could barely see. Wooden staircases curled around the walls. Golden lanterns hung from twisting branches overhead. Thousands upon thousands of books filled the shelves. Some were tiny, some were enormous. Some glowed softly with magical light. The air smelled of old paper, fresh wood, and warm honey. Little birds sat quietly reading stories together. Several hedgehogs carefully wrote new books with tiny feather pens. A family of mice pushed carts stacked high with colorful volumes. Near a large wooden table, an old owl wearing silver spectacles carefully organized ancient maps. Everything was peaceful. Everything was warm. Everything felt magical. Emma smiled proudly. "Welcome," she spread her paws toward the endless library. "To the library of the forest." Willi slowly turned in a circle, unable to believe his eyes. So many books. Emma nodded. Every story that has ever happened in this forest is kept here. Every story, every adventure, every friendship, every happy memory, every lesson. Willi looked around once more. He had never imagined such a place could exist. Just then, a loud flutter of wings echoed through the library. A black raven flew quickly through a large round window near the ceiling. He landed heavily on an old wooden table, breathing hard. His feathers were messy. His eyes were full of worry. "Emma!" he cried. "We have a problem!" Every animal stopped what they were doing. The room fell completely silent. The old owl looked up slowly. Emma's smile disappeared. "What happened?" The raven swallowed. His voice became almost a whisper. "The golden book of stories," he looked around the room, "has disappeared." No one moved. No one spoke. Even the floating dust seemed to freeze in the warm golden light. Emma slowly turned toward Willi. Her expression had completely changed. "I think," she said quietly, "your adventure begins now."